But did the ocean breeze pacify you? Did the palm trees sanctify you?
Good day, good people. What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Jojo and
D. How y'all doing?
we are a bi-weekly, so every other week podcast. We are two friends that just decided to take some of our private conversations and make them public and share with y'all as we grow, going through life step by step, that we can encourage you and grow life through life step by step as well. So, you can find this on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Podcast Geeks, or something like Breaker Casts. So, we're almost on Apple, still pending.
Almost
Getting closer. But round of applause for us being official.
Woo, woo. Oh, you said round of applause.
So, if you're watching the visual of this podcast, it can be found on the Just Jovet YouTube page. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when an episode goes live. With all that being said, and the introduction being made, thank y'all again to all of our day ones.
Thank you.
We appreciate y'all. We do. Also, we have I cannot talk, y'all. Clearly.
Slow down.
Slow it on down. So, we are doing a merch order. All right? We're doing a merch order. It'll be available after the next episode. So, stay tuned for that. Coming soon.
That rhymes. See how that rhymes? Stay tuned. Coming soon. Hey. Stay tuned. Coming soon. Sorry, y'all. All right. I'm done with my silliness for this little 2-minute piece right here.
I'm glad you said 2 minutes. If you had to put a today after there, my face was gonna be like
today. Right, because you know it ain't true.
Not at all. So, we were supposed to not have this line right here. Okay?
Yeah.
But that's all right. Life happens and we move on. God is still good. Yes, He is. And it's coming soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Coming soon, we will be able to not have the partition. The
we don't have division, y'all.
No.
No division.
No division. We say no to division. Okay. That was a little bit of Amy Winehouse. That ain't got that. That's no Amy. Jesus in that.
None. Not at all.
So let's go ahead and get into how we're doing. Dee, how are you doing?
Woo! I'm first. Like Arna always, right? So I am doing okay. This week has been a long week, one of the longest weeks I've ever had. But I'm doing good. I'm still standing. I'm still here. This week has brought about a lot of challenges, both on the regular JOB and personal. But like I said, y'all, I'm still here. I'm still moving. Still making sure that I'm trying my best to stay healthy, stay out of harm's way, doing my exercising. I also, this week was my first week that I took on a different type of supplement. I'm not gonna tell y'all what it is, but just know that it's natural. It's a natural product. So I want this to be one of those sponsored inserts. But it's coming along very well. I feel more energized throughout the day. I'm getting up, getting things done. But I'm just grateful. Needless to say, I am having a birthday coming up. It won't be long before it will be here, before I even know it. So I'm looking forward to doing that, and hopefully to be able to see my friend in person, live and in person very soon. So that's basically how my week or last 2 weeks have been, just really in grind mode with a lot of things. So Jojo, how about yourself?
I won't complain at all. Everything's pretty much been the same on my end. I'm still waking up in the morning, hitting the gym hard. Yes, it's a challenge because some of these days, the last 2 weeks, I did not feel like doing it.
Yeah.
But even when you don't feel like it, that's the days that you have to push the most.
Yeah.
Yes, to do so. But life is good. I won't complain about life. Life is life. When you were giving your update, there was a song that came to me. It says, "I'm still standing.
Yes.
I'm still holding on. I messed up the word.
I'm still holding on
to what I believe. Still motivated. Fully persuaded."
Yes.
Yes. Come on, Bishop. Bishop Paulus or Morton. Hallelujah.
Insert.
What's the refrain? What's the I'm still standing. There's like a vamp.
On the run, I'm still standing.
Yeah. Y'all go check that.
Sorry, but the gist is we still standing.
Yep, we still standing. Yep, still holding on. So y'all, I'm currently at an Airbnb, and it's nice, but random people walk across the courtyard.
I was gonna say the threshold.
The threshold. They got the blinds open, so it's just like, if I look over to the side, y'all, last time it was a squirrel. This week it'll be people.
We heard the sounds of nature last time.
Yes, you heard the crickets and everything. So, as we talked about last week, we kind of did an introduction episode into the things that we're going to be talking about in this next section, per se. And we touched on relationships. And so if you haven't seen that introduction, go ahead and go back to the last episode. I'll also link a card at the top. So it'll be in the top right hand or somewhere. It'll be on the screen now. So go ahead and watch that and then come back to this one. And if you haven't watched any of the other episodes, also go back and catch up on those as well. Yes. Today is episode number 9. Oh, we almost had 2 hands. So, yeah, we're moving on up. So, to the side. So what we want to talk about today is go into throwing yourself out there. I don't want to say just throwing yourself out there, but putting yourself out there when you are first starting an entrepreneurial endeavor. That's a word, right? Entrepreneurial endeavor. Okay.
Come on. Speak to the people.
And it's very tough and very challenging. Because I don't want to jump all the way into it real quick, but the reality is it's not always going to go perfect.
Right.
That's just the fact. I guess I'll start off with one of the stories with me, and let me go ahead and say I am literally in this space that we are talking about right now. Right now. This is very real time, and it's real time for me. Okay. As soon as I can stop saying so I was like, all right, let me go ahead and put myself out there, go ahead and try to drum up some business. So I choose this person to send an email to. It takes me a half a day to actually draft up the email and hit send. Well, I hit send on the email. I'm like, I look up on Google, like, how to get jobs. And so I put all these keywords in there. I'm like, enthusiastic, ready to work, blah, 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 which you should do.
Starter.
Yes, eager to work. So I did that, and I did it well, right?
Yeah.
And I got the person responded back to me, and I was like so excited. I was like, oh, yay!
Step number 1.
So I then respond with a link. They say, hey, show me your work. So I respond with a link to a YouTube page.
Come on now.
Well, that's not necessarily bad, but it does prove that you're not all the way ready yet. And so I heard nothing. Y'all, I still to this day have heard nothing else. Did I try to bother with following back up? No, I did not, because I realized the communication that I made was not adequate, right? But what it did do was now I'm ready, because I then made a highlight video of my services that I offered. I then invested in a website, right? And I did not have that before. I was using Facebook, which is fine, but to push yourself up, you do have to make those certain. Yes, you have to make those certain steps for yourself. So if you are at that spot, go ahead, stop, take the time to make a website as well, in addition to using social media profiles as your basis to do those things. And there's a ton of websites out there. I mean, a ton that you can make them through. From Wix to Squarespace, they all have like, I don't have any words. Motivation tip, just make yourself a website. So it's going to happen. The moral of that was, it's going to happen. You're going to make all of your interactions are not going to be perfect. But as long as you take out of there that you learned something and it makes you better, then that's what's important. And I know Dee, we were talking about some other things earlier when we were briefing on this. And you said some really good stuff.
I did.
Yeah. Do you remember what you said?
I'm going to try to remember, but you just kind of stepped on something. No, not stepped on, but you kind of brought something to light. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm scratching my head. I'm not dirty. Today was bath day. Haha. Insert. Anyway, anywho. So you were talking about, you immediately went onto Google, right?
Yeah.
So you did your research. Like, I know earlier we were talking about just making those steps. Like, and then I believe the last episode we were just saying, you have to start somewhere. Like, you just have to start. Because like you said, if you would have never started or would have never reached out to that particular person, you would have never had that feedback to go to internalize, and then to sit up here and say, hey, well, I'm analyzing this, I hear crickets, right? So it should prompt you. Because like you said, even though you did not get that yes right away or the response, and to this day you still haven't gotten a response, but it prompted you to gear into action, right? To take those action steps, do the research to see what your next step should be. Like you said, it's not going to be easy. You may get 1,000 no's, but then the next yes could be your ticket, you know, to get out of, you know, where you at. Anyway, but just taking those steps, doing that research, finding out what works, what doesn't work. And you can do this for every relationship or any connection in any field that you're trying to go into. You have to just start somewhere. And I'm just so proud of you that you continue to go and make those strides to what you want, because it's easy for us to put this down on paper. I remember we had the success boards that we did not too long ago. It's easy for us to put it on paper, but okay, paper is just the first step. Writing it down is just the first step. Putting your pictures on the board is just the first step. Like, you have to have that call to action. Because if there's no action behind it, guess what? You're not getting nowhere. It's not just going to fall into your lap. Like,
no.
We've been talking about grinding, how busy, you know, we've both been in trying to get things situated. You have to take that step. It's going to be uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Because it's something new, right?
Yep.
When you learn how to walk, your, you know, kids going back to school and, you know, during these times, like, this is all new, but just taking that first step, figuring out what works and doesn't work. And also back to the being around, surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals or people who are 1,000 steps ahead of you. Like, it's okay, but you have to start somewhere. I think you were kind of raising your hand like we were in class. Were you going to insert something?
No, I was just, that was that one step. That was that one step. Yep.
Take life step by step. That's basically what we've been going over. And I can even bring this all the way back to hopefully you guys will be able to meet my husband pretty soon. I pray, you know, that you're able to meet him. He's super busy, but I remember, insert here. I remember, you know, just having those humble beginnings with him. Y'all, you talking about putting in the work. You talking about starting from scratch. I remember first gigs. I remember me, and I'm not too much of a person that, you know, will talk like he does. You know, he's the extrovert. I'm more of the introvert. But, you know, taking that step, and because this is something that we both want, right? I wanted, you know, for him just as much as he wants this for himself. So it's just like, okay, coming together even as a team to work together. And like I said, I think we had started even just getting phone numbers, like at bridal open houses and just, you know, any type of event where we could be a vendor. We just started there. Of course, we did our research online, making the phone calls, and of course, you know, he did everything. But when we were there, you know, just passing out cards, you know, even if, you feel like, oh, well, I'm not sure about this person, like, just do it. Like, Jojo is wearing the shirt. Just do it. Check. Just do it. That's, and the check mark, of course, for me, symbolizes, okay, I took this first step, check. I took the second step, check. Like, you just have to go through those courses of action so you can get the result, not only get the results that you want, but making even more connections so that each person that you touch or come in contact with, they'll be able to teach you something, right? So they'll be able to give you the feedback that you need to either book whatever gig, or, they'll be your actual clients. So, just do it, y'all. Not gonna be easy, but just try, do something. One course of action.
Yep. And even let scammers, y'all, even let scammers teach you. Don't let scammers take your money now.
Right.
It happens. But y'all, it's so real, because I was like, oh, somebody wants to book me. And then, we're going back and forth. It's a family reunion this. And I was like, oh, yeah, let's go. You're going to pay me this amount of money. And I was like, all right, cool. We got this. Well, I get to one of the last messages after I send a contract, right? And they're like, well, I need you to pay me cover this amount of money for me. And I was like, oh, you're definitely a scammer. Because scammers, people don't ask you to cover half of a bill for something. And I was like, oh, man. I was like, dang, I was really happy. I was getting excited. I was like, let's go. This is the start of something. But here's the thing. Before then, I didn't really have any contracts written. Didn't have any. But now, guess what? It drove me to then have a contract. So when the real person comes, right, I now have this portion ready. And I don't have to. Yes. So it's all about taking these, like Dee was saying, it's all about taking it and moving forward with it.
Yeah.
We say this all the time, but yes, that's what it's about, period. And just know you win some and you lose some. Just don't stop.
And another thing that I wanted to say is, while you are going through your journey, don't forget to, and I know we probably mentioned this before, but it keeps coming up, right? Don't forget to celebrate those small wins, right? Most of the time when I'm going through and setting goals for myself or figuring out, what path I want to take, I write things down. We all have electronic devices, so make that equivalent to your regular pen and paper. But a lot of times I really like to just pick up the pen, get that notebook paper, that you buy from the dollar store, college rule or wild rule, hello somebody, and just write down things. I normally like to make me a T-chart as well. What worked for me and what did not work, just so you can kind of see, because a lot of times we may forget what actually worked. We may forget what actually didn't work and then do the same thing that we probably should do. And it's kind of like a waste of time. So just make sure that you're documenting your steps as well, so that you can, see that feedback on paper and actually, once again, Jovette was saying, build from that. So don't be afraid to do that as well, so you can actually see. Write the vision, make it plain. Hello.
Don't be afraid to write it down. Don't be afraid to take a step. Don't be afraid. Just don't be afraid. I don't have another line. Feel free to chime in. Clearly today is singing day. Clearly.
It is.
Clearly it is. Clearly. But yeah.
No season, no day.
That's just do it. That's the whole moral of this, establishing those relationships. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then incorporate everything that we've already been talking about with staying consistent.
Yes.
Trusting the process. All of those. It's all in the attitude. Everything that we've been talking about comes to play when you're building these, whether it be business relationships, any relationships. But yeah, but right now we're really talking about putting yourself out there for whatever it is that you want to do. Okay? You got to do it. Okay? Okay?
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can do it. You can do it. Yes, you can. Clap yourself. Tell yourself you can. You can do it. Take a minute.
Yes, I can. Like, what is that? Another professor? I'm telling my age, y'all. Anyway.
Oh, that's for baby. Look, y'all. I'm gonna look at you right now. You can do it. I believe in you. I do.
Do it. And guess what, y'all? So, at first, or I ain't even gonna say at first, but not even way back in the day, but I just feel that I know we have these electronic devices, y'all, and I get it. But if time permits and if restrictions are not there and you're not limited, have that face-to-face interaction. Because let me tell y'all something. A lot of people can hide behind these little devices and these little cards and these little letters, but there's really nothing like the face-to-face interaction that will actually set you apart. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because, once again, my husband, like, I've seen it happen, where just that simple, okay, let me visit this business or let me go inside of this, particular venue, that has set him apart. And once again, I know some of you may be more tech savvy than anything, but don't forget to brush up on your presentation skills. Make sure that you have that with you. Everybody has to start somewhere, but just make sure that you have that polished or somewhat, at least at the standard when you're making those connections as well.
And that's what, like you're saying, that's what makes you real. Mm-hmm. That's what makes you real, because anybody, like I said, like I Googled, right? Excited, enthusiastic. I Googled that, right? My mom always says this: you know a person is serious about you when they don't just send you a text message, but they take the time to call you, because then you know that you have their undivided attention. Yeah. Because you can text 15 people at one time. Hey, baby. You can do that. Right. And then, hey, but when you're on the phone with a person or you're in the presence of a person, you know for sure whether or not they have your undivided attention. That's just to reiterate.
I like that. Yeah.
What you were saying, T. But mothers know best.
Yes, they do. Been there, done that, experienced so many things that we have yet to experience.
And one of the sayings, and I find myself saying it now, I say it at least once a week, more than once a week. It's probably 5 times a week I say, only time will tell. Mm-hmm. Only time will tell. It's not just a song, it's reality. Time tells everything.
I love that thing.
And that's the whole thing about establishing those relationships and building those relationships. Time will tell. You can't make yourself a year older in 2 months. No, you got to go to full 12 months.
Speak to the people.
You got to. You got to do it.
No way to get around it. And it ain't don't fall in your lap. Ha!
Ain't no way to get around it but to go around it. Ha! Go around it. Okay. All right. One trip around the sun it is. One trip. Which sun? The S-U-N or the S-O-N? Because both of them are relevant. Oh, God. Glory! So,
but in all seriousness, look, I got the rest of the words. Can't even get it out. I'm so full, y'all. Yay. A mess.
So, yes, that's pretty much all we have to say on today. Do you have something else you want to add, Dee?
No, I mean, that was it. That was it for me. I just wanted to, share those bit of experiences. It works.
Yeah, just do it, y'all. That's today's episode. Just do it. Just do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
So, but
yeah, we like
all right. Yes. Don't forget. Oh, thank y'all if y'all made it to this point of the episode. Really, we thank y'all. Don't forget to follow us on the social media platforms. You can follow D'Angela at what now?
J, the number 2. Well, the letter J, the number 2. Riley. 8.
And don't forget, you can catch this on the Just Joe Vet YouTube channel. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Just Joe Vet. And yes.
Merch coming soon. Be on the lookout.
March coming soon, baby. Hey, cuz. Let me stop playing. But yes, y'all, stay tuned for that. You could go ahead and if you watch this episode before it officially drops, let us know if you want some, and we can definitely share that to you. And so, yes, until the next time. Peace out. One love. Jesus Christ. Remember that. Bye.
But did the ocean